So Kingdom Hearts, I am a big fan of. I loved the first one. I thought like the Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters was like a mind-blowing experience. Um, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 for a few reasons. And so I'm hoping that Kingdom Hearts 4 has some way of bridging that gap and kind of becoming the franchise that I loved, because Kingdom Hearts 3 just seemed like too much. So first is gameplay. The gameplay I think is very fun and interesting whenever you go to different worlds and you get to be different creatures. Little Mermaid areas with Ariel, you become a tiger in the Lion King section, and they offered, even though it was similar gameplay, enough of a difference to where each world kind of felt unique. Um, and then even whenever it was basically just a costume, like the Nightmare Before Christmas world, where you were like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, and just had Jack Skellington like clothes. They didn't even really change the way they looked. Well, Sora, uh, Donald looked wild, but I really liked that. And with Kingdom Hearts 3, they didn't put a lot of effort. Kind of felt like every version was the Nightmare Before Christmas level of let's mix it up. And they opened up, they had Monsters Inc., they had Toy Story. The other thing that I think is a big issue as far as gameplay was, especially with Kingdom Hearts 3, I specifically remember the Monsters Inc. one was just a line. They all kind of had a linear feel because there's a story that's going on. It may be making the worlds a little shorter and a little fatter where you can run around a little bit more. And then as far as with story, that was to me the biggest detractor with Kingdom Hearts 3. All of the side games all come into play. In Kingdom Hearts 1 it was essentially standalone. Kingdom Hearts 2, there was like, if you played Chain of Memories, then you kind of had an idea of what Organization 13 was, but then that was like, if you didn't, they still explained it in Kingdom Hearts 2. Then whenever you got Kingdom Hearts 3, they were talking about all of the characters, Birth by Sleep, 358 over 2 days, just all of their side pieces and all of their side stories were all converging at once. It was 1, 2, 3. You should be able to play the trilogy of games and have them stand on their own, and you can have some background or supplemental material. So maybe there is like a Kingdom Hearts 4, 5, 6, and then there's like a 4.5, and gives you a little bit more background. That would be okay, but just to have a bunch of games with all of their crazy stories, and there's this person's heartless, and then that's this person's nobody, and then this person is actually these people. It's just felt like way too convoluted. I don't know why JRPGs have this culture of it has to be an incredibly complex story in order for it to be considered art. Trimmed the fat, and my idea for the story would be essentially Kingdom Hearts 1 again, bringing a little bit more Seven Samurai. So for Kingdom Hearts 4, which they did drop a trailer years ago and it looked gorgeous, so I'm excited for that. But the worlds that you go to, either way, if you go to a world and let's say you go to like the Monsters Inc. world, and then you're with Sully and you're trying to save Mike Wazowski. Then after you finish that, you seal the keyhole, and either Sully or Mike Wazowski will join you in the final battle. And then next world, you go to Little Mermaid, you have Ariel saving Sebastian, and then Ariel comes over. Or there was the Mulan world. Let's say you have your trio, that come in and they have like a cutscene. And then at the end of the game, those people that you have recruited by protecting them, by taking care of them, by helping them save their friend or whatever that situation is, they return the favor and help you defend from an onslaught of heartless or nobodies that are coming. So then whenever you get to the final boss, there's a section of the map where you do need to run really fast. So kind of like the Lion King section where you jump in. There's an underwater section, so the aerial comes in and you turn back into a mermaid and go through there, and you get a way to incorporate each person from each of those unique gameplay aspects into the final boss, or at least maybe not even the final boss, but the final level. So that way it feels like you did all of these things and it's paying off. They are helping you find or beat or get past obstacles so that whenever it is you, Donald, and Goofy versus the big bad, that would be something that you really built up towards. And then maybe there's like a bigger war going on, and the people that you saved or the worlds that you saved send people. Maybe it is just Mike Wazowski, maybe it is just Ariel, or maybe they are representatives for their whole world. And then in the background, like you're fighting the final boss, and then there's just like big flashes of what's going on. And you can see a war of Heartless fighting against a Sully or against a bunch of monsters. Really like embellish it, make it to where the fight has payoff. The people you saved are helping to save you. And I think that they can do that. They can make it a whole trilogy and have that be like the final boss. The gameplay and everything, just kind of have that set up and be done in one game. And then from there, that beating that boss can open the next thing. That would be at the end, would be the Thanos moment where he gets up off of the throne and says, fine, I'll do it myself. Like that is where you can put the big bad. Like he was the one that you were fighting, and you had to use all of these resources to help fight this guy. And then at the end, it turns out that just one of like the bottom rung guys for the big bad. And then you can kind of like allude to it where he's answering a phone call and says, all right, whatever you say, boss, and then hangs up. And then it just kind of cuts back to it a few times. That way you set it up. And then after you beat him at the end and you have this big climactic battle, it serves well for Kingdom Hearts as it on its own. It sets up for Kingdom Hearts as it continues. You can have offshoots. Let's say you did save Princess Aurora, and then there's like an offshoot game where you really dive into it, kind of like with Chain of Memories. There was this card battling system, and that was a unique gameplay aspect. Maybe it didn't work for that full game, but maybe you have one, like a small offshoot. That can be a phone game, but it would be an offshoot from the first one, and then it doesn't have to necessarily come back to the big story. It can just like let those legs crawl, let those legs grow and branch off. So I would say gameplay wise, game map wise, and then story wise are the three big pillars on what can be improved for Kingdom Hearts 4.